Hi. Hi, my name is Whitney Heidemann, and this is one of my horses, Patch. I have been riding and caring for horses for the last 20 years now. I am a K through 6 computer science teacher, and during the summer times I teach horseback riding lessons. I chose to do my final project designing a curriculum on the subject of teaching horseback riding lessons. And by using the 4 questions of Tyler's model, I am going to show you how I designed a curriculum for teaching my horseback riding lessons. I grew up riding and showing horses competitively around the nation. I love teaching and sharing my passion for horses to others. For 2 years now, my husband and I have owned our own ranch and opened our own horseback riding business called Hideaway Ranch. Here are our purposes and aims for Hideaway Ranch. 1. For students to grow into riders that are good enough to enjoy and succeed in any area of riding they might choose: Western, English, jumping, dressage, or trail riding, whether it is for recreational or to be competitive. 2. Teaching horsemanship and riding skills primarily through hands-on and skill-based education for students to be able to handle horses safely and correctly. 3. To provide a special and unique relationship between a horse and a person. The neatest quote that I heard one time was, "The outside of a horse is great for the inside of a child." When I wrote my purposes and aims, I thought of the 3 basic focal points to consider when creating a curriculum that Marsh and Willis stated in the article Curriculum History. The article states that you should consider the following question when considering the first focal point: subject matter. Does the subject matter being taught adequately represent to the student the reality of the surrounding world? Yes, horseback riding can do this. There are so many benefits to gain from horseback riding. Horseback riding can help increase your motor skills, gross motor skills, core strength, balance and coordination, and social skills. The social skills that can be developed and gained through horses can help one's confidence needed to gain those social skills. Horseback riding teaches and shows you hard work, caring for an animal, compassion, goal setting, and much more. The skills that you can gain from riding and caring for a horse can help you in your everyday surrounding world. For the type of educational experiences, Dewey stated in his book, Experiences in Education, that everything depends upon the quality of the experience which is had. When choosing the type of experiences for horseback riding lessons, I wanted to make sure that each experience was meaningful, purposeful, and retainable. The type of educational experiences that I focus on when teaching horseback riding lessons are: a welcoming and clean environment. I think that this is so important as we need to provide a good quality environment where quality learning can be taught. One-on-one instruction. This is very valuable as I can give my full attention to that one student. Every moment gets to be focused on him or her to allow me to teach exactly to his or her learning style. Demonstrations. These are so important as there are many new skills and muscles being used when riding a horse. Demonstrations allows for better understanding of what is being asked of the student to do. Hands-on. There is nothing more meaningful than being able to personally do a task yourself. Hands-on really allows a person to figure out exactly how to do something and how it works. Horse interaction. Having an object, let alone a big animal as a horse, to use within your experiences gives that wow factor in your experience, something to remember. Choice of riding style. Letting students have a choice gives them more freedom and ownership. Ownership makes them feel proud and gain confidence. Bonding with the horse. There is nothing like the bond between an animal and a human. Having the opportunity to bond with a horse helps, especially those who may be nervous, build trust. You need trust to build a good relationship, and the stronger the relationship between you and the horse, the more successful one will be when riding a horse. In the book Experience and Education, Dewey stated that an organization in which all individuals have an opportunity to contribute something. It is very important that during each lesson, my students are contributing. Dewey also stated that the games involve rules, and these rules order their conduct. There is a structure, and these rules and guidelines are in place to maintain safety and order during my horseback riding lessons. Here is how I organize experiences for my horseback riding lessons. First, my students must learn the safety rules about being around horses, such as no running, no yelling, don't walk up behind a horse, lay your hand flat when giving a horse a treat, how to pick up their hooves so they don't step on you, how to lead a horse, how to tie a safety knot, and the list can go on and on. Part of bonding with the horse happens through grooming and tacking up a horse. Grooming is brushing a horse, and tacking up is putting on the equipment to ride. Before my students ride, they learn how to groom a horse and how to tack up a horse. Once we get up onto the horse, my students first learn the basic aids to steer and control a horse. They first learn to stop, go, turn left, turn right. As they advance, they learn more complex aids. There are 3 gaits that we practice. My students first start out walking on a horse. As they advance, they start trotting. This happens in the first lesson. Later, when they are ready, they learn to canter. This can take anywhere from 2 to 3 months before they start to canter. After you are able to canter successfully, you can learn to jump and then compete, if that is what you wish to do. There are 3 main positions that we practice. Jumping position, which can be done at either the walk, trot, or canter. Then there is the sitting trot. And also the posting trot. I like to use activities and games on the horses for my younger students, but my older students love them too. This helps for attention spans and keeping things fun. The games and activities that I come up with use skills that they need when riding. So even though they are playing a game, they are still practicing the necessary skills to becoming a good rider. Dewey talked a lot about how educative experiences connect to one another. There is an order in which you learn things to ride a horse. Each experience that I provide builds off the previous experiences. All the experiences that I teach connect to one another to help to be able to ride a horse successfully. Assessment evaluation. Some ways that I evaluate and assess my students is by having them demonstrate certain tasks. Can they complete those tasks successfully? Another way that I assess and evaluate my students is by having them explain how something felt or explain why you do something or explain how they are doing something. Another way to evaluate and assess my students is by their continuous growth. Are they building off each experience? Are they getting better each time they ride? Are they showing growth in a positive direction to riding a horse successfully? In the book Experience and Education, Dewey also stated that growth is not enough. We must also specify the direction in which growth takes place. It is our jobs as teachers to make sure that this continuous growth that students are showing is in a good direction.